My name is Dr. Jennifer Scarlett. I'm a veterinarian and the CEO at the San Francisco SPCA. Since the time I was like 2, I was infatuated with animals, wanting to take care of them and just be around them. So it was a natural pathway for me to become a veterinarian. So during COVID, a couple things happened. Number one, spay neuter clinics had to shut down just like all the other businesses because it's an elective procedure. And during shelter in place, 3 million spays and neuters that would have normally been performed across the country were deferred. We had a lot of veterinarians that were nearing the end of their career that decided to leave. So now we're in a crisis of veterinary shortage. In particular, we know that in Central Valley, the access to veterinary care is some of the lowest in the country. And animal shelters are just a mirror of the community, so it wasn't surprising to see that in Central Valley, specifically Fresno, the community doesn't have enough access to veterinary care, and neither do the shelters. 40% of shelters say that they cannot consistently provide spay-neuter for their shelter animals, which means they can't move those animals out of the shelter. So now we have the perfect storm of too many animals in the community because we don't have enough spay-neuter in the community. Those animals are coming into shelters, and now shelters can't effectively get them out, all because of the lack of veterinary services. If we don't respond, the intake of animals into shelters, and particularly Fresno and Central Valley, will continue to outpace adoptions because we can't adopt our way out of this. There has to be a community-based response. And what that will mean is we go backwards. The progress that we made to make shelters a truly safe haven for animals, a place where they can get the care that they need for the most vulnerable animals in a community and give them a chance for a second home, diminishes. That is going to happen unless we intervene. And again, it has to be a combination of a community response to come in and adopt, to foster when we can foster, but moreover, the biggest thing that we can do to help a community is increase the amount of high-volume spay-neuter. That is the best investment that a community can make for the health of their animal population. So for decades, we have been pushing for more spay-neuter, both surgeries to sterilize animals, both the males and the females. Let's take a female dog. In her lifetime, she's going to produce between 40 and 50 puppies in her lifespan. And if you take those females that she gave birth to and go down for a lifespan of 5 years, she will produce, and her progeny will produce up to 3,000 puppies. And so then you think about where are these animals going to go? For shelters and communities, the main thing is it stops reproduction. Today, it is our only tool that is safe, effective, and permanent. So it's very important that we balance the population of our domestic animals with the available homes to take care of them.
We're going to just go over here to, this used to just be unused territory, so we closed it off with a fence, and that's where we can have nursing litters or litters of puppies that need, medicine or time before they're ready for adoption. Fostering is when you are basically a caregiver for a pet that you don't intend to keep. It can be dogs that are stressed out at the shelter or have been there too long or too young or sick, can get out of there and go be fostered somewhere in someone's home or yard for a time until they're ready for adoption. Over the years, it's been a total of something like 400 or 500 dogs that have come through my house and gone into the community. Yeah. Hey, thank you. It is so rewarding, I could cry. My dogs have gone across the country. I've got puppies I've fostered living in Florida, and they're in their family photos and things like that. And it's so rewarding knowing that, had I not fostered, they probably would have gotten put down. And instead, they're making major differences in the lives of these people, and the dog is just living its best life. I definitely would urge more people to foster. I think there's so much good that comes from it. There's great people who are heroes, trying to help this work. And even though it's still a problem, I just love seeing that, all the people that are coming up with ideas, coming up with ways, partnering together.
We're a little bit a part of the link or the whole process of caring for animals, both cats and dogs who are looking to find their forever home. And part of that help is to free up the employees whose main focus is, of course, the animals. So right now we're here in what's called the warehouse, cleaning the dog and cat's bowls and their bedding. Throwing them in the washer, taking them out just like you would do at home, but extra big loads like in a giant laundromat.
My principal responsibility here is the dishes, and they come in great waves usually, and it typically involves hundreds of dishes, silver bowls and toys, as well as water buckets. So my job is to relieve the staff that ordinarily would be doing that so that they can spend quality time with the animals. I'm here in the dish room.
In church environments, it can be called a ministry, it can be called a passion, and that's really it is for us.
We have a heart for animals to begin with. We can't solve any of these problems. They're with us probably forevermore, but we just try to do our bit. This is something we can do. We do our bit, and when we leave here, we just feel that, okay, we've left the little workspace that we're in, we've left it a little better than we found it. We've done our bit. Feels good to do that.
3 meals? Yeah. Someone once asked me, how can you be optimistic? Right, things are going backwards. And I just go back to 1991 when I started in this profession. At that time, roughly, I think 8 or 9 million animals were euthanized every year in animal shelters. Today, we're looking at 1 to 2 million euthanized in shelters. That's a huge delta. And so even though things are sliding back, they're nothing like they were when I started in this profession. And I've seen the impact of spay and neuter and how quickly it can change things. So even though we're in a vet shortage, I think if we're smart and utilizing our incredible teams, utilizing technology when we have that capability, and really advocating for more vet schools and more diversity and more people entering this field, we can turn this around. But it's going to take the kind of dedication that I've seen at the Fresno Animal Center and our partners in Central Valley. So I have reason to be optimistic.